Here is a video of me going inside the train. Here you go.
Boy, I'm getting the belt, boy. Except not really. I don't do that, but maybe someone should have. It's hard to say. It depends on your point of view in terms of your parenting skills. And I'm not gonna get into that, but boy howdy, this was a rabbit hole that I, didn't really want to go down, but I did, and here I am. Sebastian Deyoung, I was about to say was a YouTuber and TikToker, and apparently he still has accounts, but he doesn't record anything like this anymore, fortunately. He's a railfan, and a young one, and thus I had to be pretty careful about how I approach this, and I'm gonna try to be as polite as possible, and direct my anger more at his parents, and not at him. Sebastian is a minor, definitely, and while no one seems to agree on his exact age, when this was going on about 2 years ago, he was said to be about 13, maybe 12, 14, somewhere around there, so he's in his older teens now. Either way, though, he's young, and he should be under some level of supervision to a degree, or at least know better than to do any of what we're about to see. Also, it's worth mentioning that Sebastian, at his home in South Dakota, lives near BNSF, and likes to go watch the trains. He really likes trains, and that's okay. What is not okay is going onto the tracks, and onto the equipment, and just messing with stuff. Just messing with anything, and recording yourself doing it. What we were about to see are multiple cases of felonies being committed, and that is a problem. But at the same time, he, again, is a child. Despite the fact that he uploaded this himself, and there's plenty of places you can find them in the raw form, I am gonna take steps to censor this so I don't actually show his face, just to protect my own channel, because I don't want to get in any trouble for anything involving that. We don't do that here, and I'm trying to be nice, because again, he's a kid, and he's really, frankly, not all there.
Today I'm gonna do a video of me barking. Here we go. Alright, and that's it for the video. Thank you for watching.
Now, I'm not a mental health professional. I don't know exactly what you could diagnose Sebastian with, though if I were to guess, in my non-professional opinion, he's probably on the autistic spectrum. Granted, that's not really an excuse, as I know plenty of autistic people that wouldn't dream of doing half of the stuff that he does. Apparently he's just allowed to wander, and he has decided on multiple occasions to go onto BNSF property and touch their things.
I'm inside, as you can see that.
Wouldn't it be great if he, walked in and the crew was there, and they'd be like, "What are you doing, kid? Get out." Like, are you serious?
Here's some controls. That's the horn. That's your bell. That's how you get yourself going. And then you got those too. Got a little telephone. It looks like outside.
Can we talk about how alarming it is that he could just waltz in and, in theory, touch any of this stuff? Now, in his minor defense, because he doesn't really have much of one, he does stop himself at messing directly with a locomotive's controls. There's no evidence he ever attempted to do that, because at least he had the good sense to know not to actually move the train. But as we're soon to see, he does make many irresponsible decisions.
And over there. Pretty cool, ain't it?
Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's great. Also, get off the train! What are you doing? You're not supposed to be there! Already his presence is trespassing, at minimum. And you might be saying, well, where's BNSF? Shouldn't this not be this easy? And you know, you have a point. There's a reason why a lot of railroads have to put fences around their lines now, because people do stupid stuff like this! But at least he's just wandering, you know? Like, he's not actually touching anything, to be fair. He shouldn't be climbing on the diesels. He shouldn't be there. But he did know not to mess with any kind of controls, right? Nothing that could possibly cause an accident or anything.
Here's a video of me switching the railroad tracks. Here we go.
No, don't shoot. Oh my god, no.
That's how it works. So first thing you do is press this down. See right now, as you can see, it is switched to that track right over there.
Everyone gets on the railroad's case for accidents and stuff. It's always their fault. They don't talk about the tiny teenager just flipping switches willy-nilly for no reason other than to record it for the internet. Dude, stop it! Do not touch those! Never ever switch the tracks under any circumstances unless you are a railroad employee. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna switch it back. Now, as you can see, they're switched to the straightaway. Do it one more time.
No! Stop! What if a train just shows up and you have it set to the wrong line? You could cause a serious accident. People could die. And why? Why, Sebastian? You could show people how railroad switches work. You know, we have model trains. You know that, right? And the switches on those miniature tracks actually work pretty much the same. Like, you could show people how switches work on railroads without actually committing a felony. That is easily doable. Where are your parents?
See the track? Waiting for a train to come, but nothing showed up yet.
Oh, thank God. Please, Sebastian, stop. You're gonna get someone murdered. This is outrageous.
And as you see, there's a green signal down there. Alright, now let's switch to that one. Alright, and that's it for the video. Thank you for watching.
You know, I had a lot of comments on my video about the dude that's accused of causing an accident on BNSF to film it so he could upload it to YouTube. About how, well, he couldn't have done it. There's locks on those switches. Obviously, BNSF is not very consistent with the locking thing. Now, that is their fault, to be fair. I agree with you. Also, well, let me put it this way. If you leave your home and forget to lock your door, and someone enters the home and steals your stuff, whose fault is that? I mean, yeah, you didn't lock your door, but the burglar is still a criminal. Like, yes, BNSF should have locked their switches down, but it doesn't mean random people are therefore allowed to just come over and mess with them whenever they want if they happen to not do that.
Here is the video of me turning the signal to yellow. Here we go.
He's at it again! Yes, he did this at least twice that I am aware of. Messing about with the switches on the line. And I say that I'm aware of simply because, well, these are the only 2 times he recorded it. But he obviously knew how they worked before that, so I would hazard a guess that he may have done this prior, just to make sure he could do it before actually recording it. The implications are, of course, alarming, because, again, there's so many ways this could have gone wrong.
That's how it works.
The kid can barely move the switch at all, probably because it wasn't designed for a child to move. They're not meant to be switched that quickly, and what if a train did show up? I mean, he obviously couldn't switch it back in a relatively short amount of time, so if a train came around the corner, I mean...
Didn't I use the motor? Do this. That's how it works. When you're done with that, you flip this back over after you put this back. That's how it works. Now for this. How to switch it.
Access main program.
Do this
Access main
first.
security. Access main program.
Like that. Then you do it again.
Please!
It's hard to do. And it's green. Alright, that's how that works. Alright. And that's it for the video. Thank you for watching.
It's one of those things that seems so inconsequential to people who just don't know about this sort of thing, and deeply horrifying to those of us that do. I've already said it once, and I'll say it again, he could have gotten someone killed here. You can't just switch the lines whenever you want. There's a system in place that the railroad knows about because they know where their own trains need to go. If you were to switch the lines just casually whenever you want, you could cause all sorts of things like head-on collisions and derailments and other such carnage. And at this point in the story, I want to just try to reiterate, where are his parents? Now, you might be saying, well, he's old enough that they might think he's okay wandering around, but here's my thing. He's not old enough to a point that I personally would be comfortable with him having a YouTube channel or a TikTok. Like, I've been around on here long enough to know better. Like, I don't let my own kid on here for a reason. He's just not old enough for it. But even if his parents were okay with him recording stuff and uploading it to the internet, which that's their prerogative, did they not know what he was uploading? Like, everyone could see these videos. Everyone could go on there and look at it. Did no one supervising him look and see, oh, wow, that is my child committing felonies and posting it on the internet. I should probably ground them and maybe remove their internet privileges or anything. But at no time that we know of did this occur, at least not until the hammer came down on him, when it came to actual consequences from the proper authorities. Because, indeed, people did see these videos and start calling BNSF to let them know, hey, there's this child who's flipping your switches, and BNSF Railroad Police told them, yeah, we know, were looking into it. Apparently they got at least 50 calls about it when all this was going on, so they were aware of Sebastian's antics and were trying to stop him, but he would upload a few more videos before that happened.
Here is a video of me turning the railroad track heater on. Here we go. That's how it works.
Yes, thank you for that. That's wonderful. You should probably stop messing with that thing. Oh, you have another video about
Today
me.
I'm going to do a video of all the parts that are in the railroad track heater. Here you go. So first, I gotta open it up. And as you know, I had permission to do this.
What? No, you didn't. You little liar. Your nose is growing. Get out of here. You didn't have permission to do that. You didn't have permission to do any of this. I can only assume he said this because by this point, he was getting a decent amount of backlash from the railfanning community, pointing out that, hey, you're committing literal crimes, knock it off. So he, in his infinite wisdom, was like, actually, I have permission to do this. Yes, the 13-year-old went to BNSF and says, hey, can I just poke around your lines and press buttons and flip switches? Is that cool with you? And they said, BNSF, definitely said, oh yes, of course, tiny child, go nuts. Yeah, I believe that. Absolutely. Shut up, Sebastian. Get out of here.
Alright, there's all the controls. So this is some kind of thing that tells you how much has been used for power. And the wind is very terrible today.
Yeah, I won't make any of you suffer through that. He literally just gives a casual, tour of the internals of the controls. And by that I mean he really doesn't understand it fully, just enough to know what basically everything is. And with the wind and no, we're not gonna sit here and watch that. That's not happening today.
Here is a video of the machine's train marker. Here we go. So first, as you can see, this is the handle to lift it up. It says BNSF Railway. And it's connected to an air hose which hooked up to the train. And this here gets equipped right in the knuckle right there of the train when they leave. On this side, it says BNSF Railway here too. And here's some more numbers lit up on there.
Yeah, I know we've talked a lot about how he could have gotten a lot of other people killed, but given his positioning right now, we can also discuss how this child could have gotten himself killed easily. Not only does he really not actually fully know what he's looking at, like he thinks he does, but he doesn't. Because he's like, oh, look at those numbers. Like, you don't know what those are. Okay. Regardless, I believe the bigger issue is that he's in the middle of the railroad tracks right behind a train. What if the train lurched backwards? And they didn't know he was there? Like, that happens all the time, and the point is that they shouldn't be standing there. No one should be there. Why is he there? The kid could have gotten himself killed at any waking moment. It isn't just that this is dangerous for everyone, it's dangerous for him. So, everyone. Literally everyone was in danger, because the child couldn't stay off the tracks. He has a few other videos, one where he's just climbing on the train, like literally climbing on it so he can show everyone his favorite horn. Really exciting stuff. And another where he's again on one of the diesels. Stop doing that. But regardless of any of this nonsense and madness, what ended up happening to him? Well, as I said, BNSF was aware of what was going on, and were investigating it. Now, he hasn't uploaded anything like this since And what I suspect happened here, and because he's a minor it's impossible to say, because oftentimes charges against minors, even felony ones, are closed, like you can't really get access to them, I'm fairly confident that they took one look at Sebastian, realized that he is both a kid and somewhat mentally challenged, and said, okay, we're not gonna send him to jail, but he needs to stop. They probably had a talk with his parents, they may have gotten a fine, but I don't think he wound up being sent to jail. I'm not sure anybody did. As I said, apparently he still uploads, but I couldn't find any of his stuff, and he certainly isn't uploading anything like this anymore, thank God. It was probably more logical for even the feds to go easy on him, since while he had committed multiple felonies, he was a child. He was just a kid who had mental issues. And at the end of the day, the one thing we can take away from all this and be grateful for is that despite the tremendous risk of something terrible happening as a result of basically everything he was doing, nothing terrible actually happened. The one thing Sebastian was good at was at least putting things back the way he found them. As far as we know, he never left a switch in the opposite position of where it was. He always put it back. And since no trains showed up while he was messing around, it meant that he didn't actually cause a major accident. If he had, I'm sure the repercussions would have been a lot worse. But because nothing terrible actually happened, I think, again I don't know, but I think that they went at least a little bit easy on him and gave him a strong warning to stop all of this. And as far as we know, at least for the last couple years, he hasn't done it since. So maybe he did learn his lesson. One can hope. And with that, a special thank you goes to all my underwater train finders, Some Dude 267, Orange Glass, Benjamin Owens, Anzac A1, Arthur Roy, Jack Carson's Road videos, Lord Off 444, I Surfer 1405, Charles Kwiatkowski, Matt Weaver, Tom Red Lion, NS Productions 8104, Wheeljack 8401, Rescues Greyhounds, The Baxter, Caleb Crosswhite, Andrew Bowen, Josh Johnson, Caleb Brainwaters, Prez Drenton, Master of None, Travis Olinsky, Jared Brussel, JBL Explorers, Tommy Rossini, Ben McCullough, Panzer Kitsune 131-232, Mark Holding, G Wiz, Mr. Trevel, Hayden DeGrow, Metal for Life Guy, No, Kurt Forkham, Ohio Trucker 1, Mr. Sleepy, DM Trouble Typhoon, Harry, Drew Debris, George Kenny, Kevin Wood, Liam Wright, Morris Hillman Productions, NJ1969, Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5, Hannah Bird, Western Colorado History, Ryan Wehofer, Duraushi, Murder Drone Stall, Williard Conklin, Windy City Rails, A Person 723, William Nemo, Dr. Racer 78, Shimasu, and of course, my dad. Till next time, this is Darkness, and I bid you all a fun farewell.